is almost a foregone conclusion in the Dutch political system. Many political parties have ruled out working with the PVV, Geert Wilders' party. So the question is, will the far right garner enough support to see the PVV back into some form of coalition, or will we see a return to more centrist politics?
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Here we go again. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Wednesday, the 29th day of October for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get up and get out the door here this morning. Of course, going to be talking more about the big game coming up this weekend between the Huskers and the Trojans. USC and Nebraska, Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Got some comments coming up today from Nebraska's offensive coordinator, Dana Holgorsen, as Nebraska prepares for the game. Hastings College women's basketball team went on the road last night and beat Bethany College by 30, 87-57. In a contest down in Lindsborg, Kansas. We'll talk about that coming up. Hastings College volleyball team closing out their home schedule tonight with a match against Mount Marty. Soccer teams also going to be in action tonight in Fremont against Midland. Tim Berger of Hastings College has been named the Men's Soccer Player of the Week in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Had some sub-district and district volleyball played last night. Major League Baseball, the World Series, is now tied up at 2 games apiece after Toronto picks up a win over the Los Angeles Dodgers last night by a score of 6-2. And the NFL begins week number 9 of their season tonight as Baltimore plays at Miami. So all that and more is coming up here this morning as we meet you at the breakfast table for a Wednesday morning. We also expect to hear from Bob Jensen from Huskerland Prep. He's going to give us a call later on this hour, and we'll talk high school football playoffs as classes D1 and D2 are in their second round on Friday night. Classes A, B, C1, C2, and 6-man football will begin their playoffs on Friday. So a lot of high school football talk for you this morning. So, yeah, our plate is full for a Wednesday as we welcome in the Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning, my man.
Lots to get to today. Looking forward to hearing the conversation with Bob Jensen as we break down the high school playoffs. Of course, we've got some local flavor in with Sandy Creek getting ready to play Friday, and I've been fascinated with the GICC build with Jeff Ashby over in Class C2, and want to talk a little Seder ball, maybe get into Class B, talk about the 14-year streak for Northwest, and take a little Class B preview. So lots to get to here on the show. I see our IT guy has been busy decorating our live lobby today with ghosts and ghouls and goblins. I got scared when I opened up the YouTube page today.
Yeah, he has been busy. That is pretty festive, isn't it? We got pumpkins. We have ghosts. Yeah, join us on the social media sites. With the video aspect, you can watch us do our thing here this morning. So, yeah, I almost forgot Wednesday, and that means Survivor picks.
Yeah, that's scary.
I should just say pick, singular. I'm out of the contest after Atlanta blew it for me last week. So you are still in with Ty Schleicher and Tyler Moritz, the Ty and Ty show. As you see up on our screen, we've got 3 people left. You are one of them, so we'll have your Survivor pick sometime before 8 o'clock this morning.
We really should have made a side bet on that. I don't know what we were thinking. We, as ineligible for prizes, should have placed at least a bucket of beer on the bet.
Yeah, I suppose I could pay you off in a bucket of beer somewhere, since you beat me in Survivor. I can't believe that. I can't believe we're all still in after 8 weeks.
Oh, there's no reason for it. There's just sheer pure luck that's been happening on my side. Blind squirrel found a nut. I mean that's been the adage each and every week, and we'll re-gear and reload. Got a couple games in double digit spreads, a couple teams that I could use, and we'll
we might as well let's just start off. Let's just start off right there.
You want me to start off with the Survivor pick?
Well, you don't have to reveal your pick, but
oh, sure.
I was just taking a look at things last night. If I was still in the contest,
if you were still playing,
if I was still picking, you're right. There are 2 games with double-digit spreads.
With 2 teams that neither of us have used.
You haven't used Green Bay yet?
Have not used the Green Bay Packers with their 13-point spread against Carolina. And that feels pretty safe to be able to...
Yeah, and then the Rams at 14.
That's right. Rams going up against the Saints, another safe bet. Do you hear Spencer Rattler is going to get the end of the bench treatment?
Yeah,
the Saints have made a quarterback change.
Tyler Shaw.
Slow?
I think it's Shaw. Yeah, he's going to get the start in place of a Spencer Rattler. Evidently, he entered the game midway through Sunday's loss to Tampa Bay. This will be his first NFL start and his first start overall since he played for Louisville on November 30th of 2024. He completed 17 of 30 passes for 128 yards and interception, no touchdowns against the Bucs after entering the game last week with his team trailing 17-3. Prior to Sunday's loss, he had seen limited action and only at the end of a blowout loss to Seattle in week number 3. So it's a Tyler Show. This is bad that we don't even know.
If a tree falls in the forest, I mean, does anyone know how to pronounce his last name? No.
It's Shough. Shao. Tyler Shao. I think that was the guy on draft day that he was with his mom. And she garnered a lot of social media attention. She's kind of a good-looking woman, and she was sitting with Tyler on the screen waiting for him to be drafted.
Oh, Jesus.
And social media sites went crazy the following day looking to see who this lady was. I think that's the case. So I'm happy that he finally gets a chance to start. Anyway, he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints this week against the Rams.
All told, Saints have a mess. Like, there's a quarterback disaster, and they're starting a new guy, so L.A. would be a good pick, right? So you've got Rams, Packers. We're kind of centering in on those two being the two. I have not used either the Rams or the Packers in Survivor, so I'm going to tell you right now it's going to be one of those two, and I'm just going with my gut.
All right, the Chargers, they're a 9.5-point favorite this week over Tennessee. Detroit, an 8.5-point favorite over Minnesota. New England is 6-point favorite over Atlanta. And Baltimore is a 7.5-point favorite tonight over Miami. So all those people could be eligible to play.
It was his wife. It wasn't his mom, it was his wife, according to Amber. And it's pronounced Shuck, which I don't get.
No, I don't think it's pronounced Shuck. No, I absolutely
You're
don't.
arguing with the IT guy. Careful, he's got the buttons for your microphone.
Yeah, I don't think that it's Shuck. That was his wife.
Another beer bet?
That was his wife instead of his mom. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he was sitting on the couch with now I think it was his wife and a dog.
What are you paying that much attention to the draft for?
Because that just stands out. Yeah, he's an older guy. He's an older guy.
He's like one of those COVID guys that got 7 years to play college football.
Yeah, he's an older guy. He's got a wife, good-looking wife, and he was sitting there with a dog on draft night. So anyway, he's finally going to get his first start.
Good for Tyler.
I see Tyler Morris is in our lobby today.
Bless me.
Tyler Morris is in our lobby today, the guy who's in the Survivor game with you. He's probably seeing who you're going to pick.
He's going to, wait to see. See if he wants to go in a different direction, or maybe see if we all go down together.
Yeah, so it's Tyler Morris, Ty Schleicher, and Tyson Avronic, the final three people in a Survivor for
and
this
I think
week.
both the ties have L.A. and Green Bay to give, so.
Well, I hope the contest extends to another week. I hope you all don't go out this week, because this is only week 9 of the NFL season. We'd like to push it to at least 10.
We could get Survivor round 2. Get another round of prizes. My agent will be standing by with you shortly.
Jeez.
Let's see. What do we have? Ty. Oh, Ty has used the Packers. Ty Schleicher has. So it's basically kind of Rams or bust. If he wants to take those big spread games, he could go in a completely different direction and do a little surprise. Ty Moritz is open. He can use Packers or Rams. Schleicher's got the Packers used. So there's a couple different avenues with the big spread games. The quote-unquote, according to the experts, safe games. But,
I was on a safe game last week.
Ask Penn State how safe those multi-double-digit spreads are.
Atlanta last week against Miami.
Yeah. That's
so,
bad.
One other NFL note today. New England Patriots have traded away 2 former defensive starters, sending defensive end Kean White to San Francisco and safety Kyle Duggar to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were starters under former Patriot head coaches Bill Belichick and Jared Mayo, but they've been backups under first-year head coach Mike Vrabel. So, a couple of guys being traded away by New England, one to San Francisco and one to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You owe your family a beer. It is Shuck.
There's no way that can be Shuck.
Well, they just rewatched the draft of him being picked, so looks like you're wrong.
Tyler Shuck?
Yep.
Maybe this is misspelled on my S-H-O-U-G-H.
Shuck. Just like it sounds.
No. In school, I wouldn't pronounce that Shuck. Shuck is S-H-U-C-K or S-H-U-K. That's Shuck. This is not Shuck.
It's the silent H.
No, see, I don't. If he pulled that up, did he research that?
That's been confirmed by multiple people now. I'm getting YouTube clips of him in college. I'm getting draft day pics of him being announced. We're getting multiple sources that are confirming that
it's
we're
Shuck.
wrong.
We're wrong. Wouldn't be the first time we're wrong.
That happens.
So, anyway.
6-pack of beer and Good Boy vodka drinks is Amber's request.
402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to drop by here this morning. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, you can. We got lots of people in the lobby here today. Thanks for joining us. What else we got here? Would you want to hear from Dana? Because we got Bob Jensen coming up at 7:30.
Sure.
And you know what Bob Jensen is like.
It might be
It might be tomorrow.
Hour, which is fine.
Yeah, it might be.
I'm great with that.
Yeah, because we're going to talk state high school football playoffs, and he's going to dive into that. Anyway,
Better than us trying to figure out the last name, Shuck.
Now we know it is.
Yeah.
Shuck. Anyway,
Huskers
Dana
USC.
Holgerson, he was before us yesterday in Lincoln. He's the offensive coordinator for the Huskers. And, of course, Nebraska preparing for USC on Saturday. Dana says he expects to work against a tough USC defense on Saturday.
Just unbelievable athletes. They do a great job. I've known Lincoln for a long time, and know those defensive guys as well. So, they're very well coached. They have very well, they have 4 or 5 star guys out there. I mean, every one of their D linemen is 6'5", 275. Every one of them. Never seen that before, But they got one big dude in there. But they're big up front. They're their linebackers are active. Their secondary does a good job. So it's going to be a huge challenge.
And Dayton says it will be important to win the time of possession against USC.
We try to do that every week. I want to be explosive. I get that. That's fun. But you want to possess the football as much as you can. They obviously are really good up, offensively, and they're going to have their moments. They're going to have their shots. We know that. But we want to control the ball. We want to keep their offense off as much as we can, obviously, but that's going back to just routine plays and converting third downs and scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
Emmett Johnson, Nebraska running back, carried the ball 27 times against Northwestern last week.
We can't keep doing that every week, but he gets stronger as the game goes on, and so when you're in tight games like that, you need to win them. You're going to go to your best players, and so he's one of our best players, obviously. So he just keeps getting stronger, and not all backs can do that. Some backs are going to get tapped out on about 12, 15 carries, and he's just not that guy. He can do about anything that we ask him to do, and he's going to do whatever we ask him to do to help the team win.
And Dennis says he's looking forward to a night home game this weekend.
Yeah, they give our team confidence. There's no question. I mean, that's our team loves to play in front of these fans. Okay, I've been places where that's not necessarily the case. Okay, and so. It's a home field advantage, and some people think they have a home field advantage, and they don't. We all know that this is a home field advantage here because our players are excited about playing in atmospheres like this, and I'm sure our opponent's going to be fired up about it too. But with crowd noise and been in games like this where the crowd makes magical moments, and so I can't tell you how fired up I am for it, night game. And, I've been here for a night game on the other sideline, back when I was at Texas Tech. We came up here twice. One of them was that night. I think it was in 2000 or 2001. And, man, I remember that to this day, So our guys are fired up for this week. And, a lot of them have mentioned to me just like this is why I'm here, and this is one reason why I'm here is for games like this. So we're fired up and ready to go.
All right, so there you go. Dana Holgerson, the offensive coordinator for the Huskers, getting ready for USC coming up on this Saturday. Nebraska has lost 28 games in a row to nationally ranked opponents. Do we have a chance? Do we have a chance this weekend?
I don't think so. I don't. I'm sorry. Listen, this is one that, having watched what we've seen over the course of the last 4 weeks, unless we make some installs, some player personnel packages to get some of our athletes off the bench and on the field when we're stalling, when we can't move the ball, when the offensive line can't block. If we don't make some personnel packages, switcheroos, that's number 24 or 28, 29, whatever, however many times we've been in prime time against the top 25 opponent and we get our teeth kicked in, this could be lockstep in line with that. This could be a come to Jesus game for Nebraska. We could get exposed to who we really are. I don't have a hell of a lot of confidence coming in to this game. I would love to be pleasantly surprised and be dead ass wrong, but my confidence level is very minimal, flicker, if any, heading into Saturday.
USC 5-2 on this season, had a bye week. had a bye week last week to get ready for us. That's 2 years in a row that the Big Ten has given USC a bye before they played Nebraska.
Well, doesn't matter. Wham, wham. Get up and play.
It's going to be blackout night on this Saturday at Memorial Stadium. You're encouraged to wear black instead of red. You're going to be wearing black uniforms. So who knows? I think the last time I checked, I think we're 6.5 to 7 point underdogs at home.
That's generous.
To a USC. That's not going to be a part of your Blazing Five?
I'm not picking Nebraska.
You're not?
No.
Not even at 6.5 or 7?
No. I mean, maybe.
I think it's going to be
if you're going to give us like a favorable spread, I would consider it. But
all right, so Nebraska and USC. Then what do we got? We got UCLA. Now the rest of the schedule, you've got. We don't have to worry about becoming bowl eligible at least this year,
right?
USC at Nebraska.
Yep.
Nebraska at UCLA.
Okay.
Nebraska at Penn State.
Uh-huh.
And Iowa at Nebraska.
Yep.
Those are the last 4 games left.
We could go over.
We could very well go over.
There's a realistic route to over here, guys. Not going to sugarcoat. UCLA figured it out. They played much inspired football that kind of came back down to earth last week. Iowa kicked the dog teeth out of Minnesota, a team that exposed every single weakness that we have. Iowa goes out and slaughters them last week. Iowa's not losing that game. Rivalry matchup. I'm sorry. Penn State, question mark. Don't have a quarterback. Don't have a coach. Don't have a lot going for them. So throw 2 games in question marks, 2 games in the L category, and there's a nice path to Ophir and another 6-win season that would really, really screw up the graphic for Matt Rule and talking about year 3.
Back to the Pinstripe Bowl we go.
I want to go to the Fenway Bowl. We already been to the Pinstripe. Let's go to the other baseball stadium.
I heard somebody talking yesterday, perhaps Las Vegas.
Boring.
And that's a possibility because I think the last team out of the Big Ten goes to the Pinstripe Bowl, and
sure.
the second to the last team that qualifies for a bowl game goes to Vegas.
I mean, yes. Do they still have the conference affiliations tied to them? I don't know. I don't know that it so much matters anymore with the 12-team playoff. I don't think that these are conference going up against conferences. I think that they kind of have an idea of how they want to put that together. But, you're also dependent on how many teams in that particular conference get 6 wins to become bowl eligible in the first place. So,
and how many teams are in the college football playoff?
Right, 12.
I mean, how many teams like in a conference?
Yeah, precisely.
So if you have 4 teams from the Big Ten going to the college football playoff, obviously that's going to screw things up. So, we'll see what happens.
Go to the Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
When's that?
Hell, I don't know, but it's at Fenway Park. It's better. It'd be cool to have both baseball stadiums for bowl games.
See, you got off on that last year when we went to the Pinstripe Bowl.
Because everyone was bitching.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
And I just like being that little toxic force of resistance on the show.
Yeah, you like to be on the island by yourself.
I like to stir the pot.
Like you are right now with Survivor.
Which is rare.
You and Ty are hanging out together on Survivor. How's it feel?
It's going to feel great when they both pick wrong this week. And
we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with you.
We're going to figure out. I don't know. There's not much figuring out. I've got agents hired. And
I'm sure Sunday, the brain trust of this organization will probably be together because the Chiefs play Buffalo on Sunday. And we've got NASCAR Championship Sunday right about the same time. I don't know how I'm going to get through Sunday.
Well, Bullseye has 2 TVs back-to-back that can put it on both.
I know, but that's a long day. NASCAR starts at 2.
Got to pace yourself.
3 o'clock 325 to be exact. 325 for the Chiefs
There you go.
and Buffalo. I don't know why that's not the Sunday night game.
Should we get into news break before 7:30?
Yeah, because Bob Jensen's going to be calling
that's right.
All right, 7:24, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Good morning.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
The annual Hastings Multicultural Festival, an afternoon dedicated to celebrating global cultures through food, music, and dance, will take place this Sunday from 1 until 3. The event will be held at the Kiewit Gymnasium on the campus of Hastings College. Festival is free, open to the public. All are encouraged to attend and celebrate the diverse cultures and backgrounds present in the Hastings community. In addition to entertainment, both food booths will offer free samples of cuisine from a number of countries and cultures. The event is a community partnership sponsored by Hastings College, the Multicultural Association, and the YWCA of Hastings. Well, this year's winning display for the Parks and Rec Department Halloween Light Fight received a little inspiration from a heavy metal icon. Grant and Tammy Jacobson received the most votes among the 13 competitors in this year's Hastings Park and Rec Department Halloween Light Fight. As a contest with an ancient Egyptian-themed display at their house at 721 North Briggs Avenue. Grant said he got the idea for the ancient Egyptian theme thinking about his brother's favorite band, Iron Maiden. Voting took place last week on the Hastings Park and Rec Facebook page. You can view all of the entrants that were in the light fight. Congratulations to Grant and Tammy Jacobson. A little inspiration from Iron Maiden. I love it. It's 7:27. Let's swing things over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, the Nebraska football team will battle 23rd ranked USC on Saturday at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Huskers have lost their last 28 games to nationally ranked opponents. Nebraska is 5-2 in the season after last week's 28-21 win over Northwestern. The Trojans are also 5-2 after losing to Notre Dame 34-24 on October the 18th. Kickoff will be at 6:30. You'll be able to see it on NBC. Hastings College women's basketball team forced 29 turnovers to beat Bethel College 87-57 last night down in Lindsborg, Kansas. The Broncos have now forced 69 turnovers in their first two games this season. And Bose had 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals for the Broncos. Bailey Kissinger had 15 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. Hastings now 2-0 in the season. They'll play at Sterling on Tuesday. Tip-off will be at 6. Hastings College volleyball team will close out their home schedule tonight with a match against Mount Marty. The Broncos are 6-17 in the season, 3-10 in the conference. First serve will be at 7:30. We'll have the action tonight on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 7:20. Hastings College soccer teams will play at Midland tonight. Men's game is at 5:30. The women to follow at 7:30. Tim Berger of Hastings College has been named the Men's Soccer Player of the Week in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Berger had a hat trick, including the game-winning goal in the 70th minute to seal a 3-2 win over Briar Cliff on Saturday. Hastings St. Cecilia won the C2H Subdistrict Volleyball Tournament last night with a 4-game victory over Sandy Creek. Hawkettes are now 23-9. They'll play in the district finals on Saturday. Adams Central lost to Fairbury in the semifinals of the C19 Subdistrict Tournament. Patriots are 23-9 and hoping to qualify for the district finals on Saturday. Beatrice beat Hastings High last night in the B1 district tournament in 5 games. The Tigers end the season at 4-27. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:29 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones. Sunshine is back once again today as we'll see cool conditions with highs in the low 50s, but northerly winds at 15 to 20, gusting up to the 30s will make it feel kind of cooler today than it is. Overnight tonight, speaking of cold, we'll dip down into the upper 20s. Freeze watch is in effect, and because of that, we should kill off all the bugs remaining here in south central Nebraska. Thursday, sunny and highs in the upper 50s and 50s heading into the weekend with 60s coming next week.
Hurrah, death to the bugs.
Death to the bugs.
Death to the bugs.
Woo-hoo!
North winds this morning as you wake up get it's at 19 miles per hour. Partly cloudy. Wind chill this morning is at 18. We've got 37 degrees in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at
All right, you're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Wednesday. Mike Will, Tyson Avronic with you here this morning. And it is now 7:32. I'd like to welcome in Bob Jensen from Huskerland Prep Report. He's going to join us this morning to talk about the high school football playoffs. Robert, good morning. How are you, my man?
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Tyson. Yeah, I'm good. It's playoff time.
Yeah, many travels for you throughout the 2025 high school football season. Anything that really pop out in your travels? What's the best restaurant you ate at, Bob, during the fall so far?
You know, it's funny. I've gotten that question for a long time, Will, for some peculiar reason. I hardly ever eat at a restaurant. Actually, I can tell you where every convenience store is worth stopping at, but I usually don't have time to stop and eat. But I got time for football, so I'm going to get around a little bit on Friday. It's a little bit of a setback in my world, and probably only in my world. That there's not, we've got away from the Thursday, Friday games. It's nice to be able to get out twice, but we'll get out and see some stuff on Friday.
Well, Bob, let's kind of break down some of these high school playoff pairings that have been announced. Of course, 11-man getting underway with the first-round action. 8-man, they already had first round a week ago. But let's talk a little bit about the seedings. Any surprises to you, or any intriguing matchups here in round one that you've got your eye on?
Well, there's a lot of those. The one seeding that people have been making a big deal about is the fact Millard South
is
seeded 4th in Class A, and you're talking about a team that's been nationally ranked and the whole deal, but, according to the NSAA formula, their schedule just didn't hold up. And, with the forfeit, that dropped them to fourth. And the thing is, it doesn't really matter. You can seed Miller South 16th or 17th, right? You can seed them whatever you want. They're going to win the state championship. It's going to be by a lot. It's going to be the third year in a row that we've had the completely lopsided Class A playoff, simply because the team on top, West Side, and Miller South last year, and again this year, are just so far superior to everybody else. And so I don't know what that does more than anything, as far as I'm concerned, is that means, I don't know. Class A has been a lot of fun this year. There's been, you can't possibly absolutely know what's going to happen from night to night, because there's been huge surprises almost every week. But it would seem that the one game that most people would like to see, West Side and Miller South, it'll be in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. That's just the way, as they say, the cookie crumbles. I would be keeping an eye on Papillion La Vista South, which has over and over again this year proven that it is a legitimately quality team, quite possibly the best that they've ever had in their program's history.
All right, so that's Class A. We do have an area team in, Kearney playing Columbus on Friday night. Kearney, the number 8 seed, Columbus, the number 9 seed. So we do have a little local flavor out here in central Nebraska, Robert, with Kearney carrying our torch in Class A.
Yeah. And the thing is, Brandon Toole and his staff, they're really good. They're really good. I don't know, they had, 2 starters coming back? It's not really a matter of starters. It's a matter of who you got and what you can make them into, a lesson that could be learned down in Lincoln. Anyway, the point being that they're good. And, the whole how Class A got skewed in the first place, you go back to that Kearney win at Miller North, or at Omaha North, that I was at. You start comparing trying to connect the dots, and there's no doing that. As far as this game goes, though, this is a rematch. Kearney shut Columbus out a couple weeks ago, 10-0. I don't know. I see Kearney winning again. Columbus has had a really good season. They had a tremendous start to the season, and they've accomplished an awful lot. But I just think come playoff time, given Kearney's pedigree, they'll find a chance to win in advance.
Again, Bob Jensen joining us here this morning as we continue to break down the NSAA high school football playoffs. Let's focus on Class B a little bit. Class B, a lot of familiar faces when it comes to playoff time. Some new schools getting into the mix. Gehring with a completing kind of a rebound over there out west. Boy, they had some tough seasons out in Class B, and it's good to see the Bulldogs being successful and getting into the Class B playoffs. But they draw Scott. You've got Northwest entering in, Bob, with their 14th consecutive trip to the Class B state playoffs. They draw the Waverly, but you got your familiar faces, your Scuts, your Scotts Bluffs, your McCooks. B could be kind of a fun watch.
Yeah, it could. I don't know. It's like the old Soviet Union. You've kind of got the Eastern Bloc that somebody's going to have to find a way to beat their way through. And Waverly did everything that was asked of it. And then on the biggest stage, the biggest game of the regular season, they held off. I'm telling you what, that Norris game was just unbelievable. And there's, a lot of people know what I'm talking about. It came down to the last play of the game where the JV kicker, who'd gone 0 for 3 on Monday night, kicks the winner in a 45-42 game. Unbelievable. Those are the 2 best teams in this class. Does that mean that'll play out? I don't know. Waverly's been to a bunch of, semifinals, but they just can't break through. It reminds me a lot of what Gretna went through before they finally did it in back-to-back years. as far as the rest of it, Norris is right there. They got the clock, running clock against Scott on opening night. That basically just introduced them to everybody as a real serious title contender. Bennington Elkhorn North with the beautiful human story of last Friday, how people came together to support the family of Sam Stanley, the coach there at Elkhorn North, and following the loss of one of his twins. And, then they went on the last play of the game, holding the ball until the last second to call the timeout, knowing they were going to score on that plunge. Really, it's pretty epic. You get past that, anything could happen, right? As far as I will address Gary real quick. Yeah, this is the class they've been waiting for, this senior class. Got some good football players in it. Got a little depth, got some skill. Now they did win several of those games against C1 competition. Right. Doesn't matter. When you haven't won for a while, you need to win, period. And so they got a real tall hill to climb at Scott. And as far as Northwest goes, they did what they were supposed to. They won their last two. They got in. Again, they've got Waverly. They're a huge underdog, but let's go play and see what happens.
We're talking with Bob Jensen from Huskerland Prep as we take a look at the state high school football playoffs. Into Class C1, Bob, the number one seed is Wahoo. And right off of the bat, we've got a rematch from last week, Central City and Aurora. They're going to play on Friday night, this time in Central City. I know that's dear to your heart there, Central City and Aurora meeting in round number one.
Yeah. So as far as Wahoo goes, it's true in three of our classes this year, according to one person. All right, nobody's going to beat Millard South in A. It's really hard to imagine Wahoo losing in C1, and the same goes for Central Valley in D2. But you get past that, and again, just like Class A, you've got a lot of teams that have played a lot of good football, and there's been a lot of great stories. Aurora's one of them. Aurora's won 6 in a row, had an off year last year. There's some questions about what's going on. They come out 0-3, and you think, okay, well, let's just, we'll get back to them later. Well, it'd be a good time right now because, they beat Central City soundly. They beat them by 15 points, and nobody had really given Central City even a second thought during the course of that 8-game winning streak. I don't know. The rematch, that's a horrible deal for the team that won the first time, especially when they're an underdog. They're going to be on the road at Central City. I don't know. I think Central City rebounds and wins the game. If Aurora could have got a different draw, they're perfectly capable of winning a playoff game or two. It doesn't mean that they won't win. I just think that it's likely Central City wins.
Again, Bob Jensen joining us here on Huddle Up this morning as we continue to break down the high school football playoffs. As we move into Class C2, we've even got somebody in the live lobby, big Central Catholic supporter, Chief Endorf. GICC continues to do great things under Jeff Ashby. You talk about some of these that are probably going to go chalk in terms of state champions. The C2 is the exact opposite. I can make a case for about 5 or 6 of these schools with Cedar Catholic, Bishop Newman, Kearney Catholic, GICC. Bob, C2 is going to be tight.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Tyson. I think there's a lot of stuff that could happen. I do know this. Cedar Catholic beat Norfolk Catholic by 20 on its home field. And, they've been winning all along. I was at that Bergen game. They won by 1 point. Excuse me. That was a great night for football. Huge crowd, really fun atmosphere at Bergen. I don't know. Cedar Catholic's the top seed, certainly deserving. Certainly right now, seems like the best team going in. That doesn't mean anything. Anytime you've got Ord as the number 9 seed, you got a stacked field. And again, Ord starting to play like Ord used to play. Last year an off season, this year a disappointing stuff against an incredibly tough opening 3-game stretch. And They earned their spurs against Central Catholic. The Central Catholic is legitimately a good football team. I still think, when I talk to people in and around C2, I still feel like maybe there's people that don't quite get what Central Catholic's doing. Mm-hmm. And you go back to Ashby. Ashby's a winner. Everywhere he's been, he's developed winners, and he's made a winner out of Central Catholic. That senior class is beautiful. They've got a clutch quarterback. They've got their top 3 tacklers back from last year. They've had just a tremendous defensive performance. The one shortfall came against Red Hot Ord, and things like that happen. That doesn't matter now. We just kind of start over. As far as Central Catholic goes, they've certainly got a real good chance of being West Point Beamer. West Point Beamer is a program that has been built up under another really good coach, and they played in the strongest district in the state. So I don't know. That'll be an interesting game, but I see Central Catholic advancing, and like you say, defense travels. The thing is that we get them out of that first round and see what happens.
All right, the 8-man ranks, they started their playoffs last Friday night, so we're into round 2 in the classes D1 and D2. One of the matchups in the class D1 we'll have for you Friday night here on Extreme Sports. That'll be Sandy Creek and Wisner Pilger. Give us a little preview of that one, Robert.
Yeah, okay, so you take out 2 quarters of football. The second half against Shelby Rising City, undefeated, number 1 seeded Shelby Rising City at Shelby, and Sandy Creek's right back almost where they were last year. I don't know if they're quite like that, but you got to remember these guys this is an incredibly deep program right now. You replace a 2-time All-Stater quarterback with a guy who's got a real good chance to be the All-State quarterback, the Seeley kid. And they've just gained momentum throughout the course of the season. That's a very well-coached team, as coaches always like to congratulate one another, and it's also a team that knows how to win. And Wisner Pilger's a nice story. They've just kind of under the radar been a really good football team the last couple of years. You go back a couple of years ago, actually, Clarkson League won D1 and 2022. Well, it took a goal line stand on the last play of the game to beat Wisner Pilger in the first round, and so they played in a really good district. Guardian Angels is in that district. Pender, another really good team, is in that district. So they've seen some stuff. I just don't think they've got enough firepower to hold up against Sandy Creek, and I don't know if anybody's going to have enough.
Bob, we've got one more class to get to. That's D2. We've got some local flavor, and a shout out to one of our good friends and Coach Blevins over there with the Raiders. You've got your Howells Dodge perennial 8-man powerhouse Jags as the top seed, winning pretty easily. A lot of Sandhills flavor here with Anselmo Myrna, Sandhills Thedford, Twin Loop, Mullen. Let's break down D2. Talk a little bit about the Raiders and that potential quarterfinal matchup with Howells Dodge.
Okay, well, taking them in order, just Lawrence Nelson's been good. They've been in the conversation. They've done some stuff. They put the pieces together this year. Doesn't hurt when you have a Division I kid transferring to play quarterback. That doesn't hurt anything. But the thing is, you go back to the opening night of the season, and Lawrence Nelson football has been in positions like that, and they've done okay. But that night, they stood toe-to-toe with Howells Dodge, came up a little bit short, but I'm not so sure that doesn't work in their favor because there's still that little chip on the shoulder, and if there's one thing that Howells Dodge probably didn't want, it was a chance to play them again early in the playoffs. And by early, it would be next week. Lawrence Nelson's, they're going to have a tough matchup tonight, or this week rather, with Elmwood Murdoch. Elmwood Murdoch's one of those, let's call it Southeast Nebraska teams, East teams that's won a lot of football games over the year, and actually was the standard there for 8-man football along with Sacred Heart for many years. Well, they dropped to D2. They also have an outstanding quarterback. They've got a couple of real trophy wins. The only team they've lost to is D1 Lords, who was in last year's semifinals and qualified again this year. So it's a good team, and they're at home. It's kind of weird that Lawrence Nelson would wind up having to travel like this. But I mean, it's definitely a game where Lawrence Nelson has earned the right to be favored. It's going to be a good game, though, I would imagine. And as far as the rest of the class goes, that's true. Among all these teams, and they're all chasing Central Valley, if someone was to ask. I mean, Central Valley is just, they're off the charts good. You saw that last year. I feel like you're going to see it again. Even though Howes Dodge is undefeated, obviously is a 10-time state champion head coach, all respect due and all that. They've got to get out of that. They've got to get out of that side of the district. And, you've got Lawrence Nelson in there. You've also got Anselmo Myrna. And you talked about them, Tyson. The Dirty kid is just, he's just a chip off the old block. This is a third generation of greatness there. And the kid's 6'4", 200, a lot like the Fry kid there at Lawrence Nelson. He's been the driving force behind all this. But you take that Central Valley game out, they've got quite the resume. So, and again, you've got Lawrence Nelson as a 9 seed. You've got Archangels as a 7 seed. And you go back to something I've always said, seeding, and especially a wild card average, is just a number. It doesn't really reflect the team's real value. That's always been my contention. I think we're going to find that out. That Myrna Sandhills deal, they play on Friday. That is a rematch from opening night when Myrna won by only 2 points. Both teams are considerably better than they were on opening night, and that could be one of the really great games, should be one of the really great games of the night. Twin Loups got Hitchcock County. Hitchcock County is undefeated, the number 3 seed, and maybe some of your listeners know there's a lot of these kids that are little brothers of the stars from that 2022 state championship team, and they played like it. They came out of the deepest, highest quality district in the state. There are you've got the one with Howes Dodge and Archangels, but you start going down even 4 and 5 deep in the D2-8. You found good football teams, and they emerged undefeated. They won handily in the opening round. Twin Loop. Their biggest, they've lost to 3 great teams, including opening night by 3 points to St. Mary's. They're going to give Hitchcock, if they don't give Hitchcock a run, then all of a sudden this changes the whole conversation, because they're on the same side as Central Valley. That's a potential semifinal. Be very curious to see how that plays out.
All right, finally, let's get to the 6-man ranks here. Bob, we've got Silver Lake, Red Cloud in the immediate area in the 6-man ranks. The number 1 seed there is Garden County. Your thoughts on the 6-man ranks?
Yeah, well, I've been riding that Garden County pony pretty hard ever since the Stewart game. This is a team with everybody back. Everybody's back from a team that was undefeated into last year's state semifinals. It was a beautiful, beautiful deal that through an opening in the schedule, along with a forfeited season, that Stewart and Garden County chose to meet, I think, back in maybe week 3. They played in Elm Creek. And Garden County won the game. They won it by a couple touchdowns. Stewart hasn't lost to anybody else. They beat Sumner by 28, something like that, 25 points, something like that. I mean, that's a really good team. And, Red Cloud's on the other side. Red Cloud's season's gotten a little bit cloudy due to injury, but they have squashed everybody, including last week. They won all their games, I think, by 30 or more. They've done everything they could. They're going to be an easy winner the first couple rounds, and then I don't know, that one of the surprise teams to this level, New Southwest would be good. You got the Bellevue kid at quarterback, who's the best pure passer in six-man, which is a huge advantage. They're undefeated. They've got some real quality wins, including one over SEM. So they're also in the mix. But I don't know. It just feels like Garden County's got the upper hand right now. And you got to keep an eye open for Stewart, the defending champion. They probably got the best all-around player in their class with the wrong kid at quarterback. And they're on the same side as Garden County, so could be we get another rematch in the semifinals. But I can't. It's hard to see. It's hard to see the champion coming from outside that mix. Silver Lake's had a really good season again. That program's in a really good place right now. They've accomplished a lot, and I would suspect that that they will advance and at least be a factor.
Wonderful conversation this morning here with Bob Jensen as we continue to break down the high school football playoffs. You mentioned a lot of good games coming up here as we get towards Friday night. Bob, what is the travel plans? Where is the GPS gonna take Huskerland Bob?
Well, I'm a little bit flummoxed, if you will, Tyson. I got a couple options. I'm a big believer in getting out, and of course, people who have followed maybe what I do, it's called Huskerland for a reason because it takes in the whole state. It's not east of Highway 281 report. Having said that, there is a chance to see one team that I wanted to see this year that I almost got to see back in the middle of the season. I don't know, week 5, something like that. I want to see Gothenburg play. A little bit of home cooking there. I got family in Cozad. My sister Rox is the athletic secretary at Cozad High, so when you need something, she's the girl. Gothenburg plays at Fort Calhoun. And actually, Shadman plays at Ashland, and they play in the afternoon, which would set up some evening travel. I'm kind of leaning towards that since I saw 8-man last year. One of those nights, it's just one of those nights you wish you could be like a paramecium and just split into a bunch of parts and be a lot of places at one time, but can't do it. So that seems to be the early leader.
All right, so Bob Jensen from Huskerland Prep. You can always find his stuff online and read his stuff. Of course, we got the book earlier this year, Bob. That was wonderfully put together like it normally is. So we thanks for all the help in getting it started on the 2025 season. Hopefully we'll run into you sometime here in the next couple of weeks, my man.
Yeah, right on. Well, it's just, it is. This is a really good round, people. I mean, people always talk about the semifinals of a tournament being a number one. Well, here with 16 teams, there's still some mystery in what's going to go on. So, wouldn't hurt to get out to a game and definitely keep your nose to the website, Huskerland Preps. It wouldn't hurt to tune that in. So anyway, good luck to all the kids and coaches that are playing. They're going to make some great memories on Friday.
All right, Bob, thanks for the conversation here this morning.
Right on, boys. Hope to see you soon.
All right, Bob Jensen, Huskerland Prep Report. You can follow his stuff online. There's good stuff there. Boy, he's got more knowledge. He's got more knowledge than we'll ever have.
I feel smarter. Like, I get smarter when I listen to Bob Jensen. He's so great.
You and I talk about we're not experts on anything.
He's experts on that.
Yes, he is. Bob Jensen, he's got all the stuff for high school.
That's why we bring in the experts.
That's right.
So we bring them in.
Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It says 7:57. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, Looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized? The Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best. Because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Join us at Maletivist Winery for The Day the Internet Died, a hilarious mystery dinner that you become a part of. Hey, this is Mick inviting you to get your tickets for 2 unforgettable nights, October 18th and November 8th. Gather your friends, enjoy a great meal, crack the case before dessert. Seating is limited, so get your tickets today at MaletivistWinery.com, and don't miss the mystery that everyone will be talking about, The Day the Internet Died. Get your tickets online at MaletivistWinery.com, St. Paul, Nebraska.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson or Bronick with you. It's a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Wednesday. I told you that he would dominate the second half of our show today, Bob.
That's good.
Chief Endorf, he's chiming in with an open letter to Dana Holgerson.
As he should.
Jeez. Chief Endorf is an open letter to Dana Holgerson on our Facebook.
More TJ, more Carter. Yes, yes, and yes.
Get Lateef, Carter, Nelson into the game more. Sincerely, all Nebraska fans.
And I'm not saying, again, I want to emphasize this because it's being misconstrued. I'm walking around town and I'm now known as the backup guy because I call for the backup so often. Look at my time hop. I was doing the same thing in 2023. But mind you, in 2023, we were starting Jeff Sims. And that was a disaster of epic proportions. I'm not saying send Raiola to the bench. I'm saying bring Lateef in for some specifically designed packages that we could run with player personnel when our offense is stuck in the mud, as it has been for the last 4 weeks. That's all I'm saying, and I think Chief Endorf agrees.
Shane, we were talking about bowl games earlier. Shane is chimed in. There's a quirky possibility that the Big Ten would play the Big Ten in the Vegas Bowl
That's neat.
With a former Pac-12 school. Evidently, the Vegas Bowl has still got ties to the old Pac-12. So a team that has moved out of the Pac-12 into the Big Ten could be playing another Big Ten school in that Vegas Bowl.
God, how boring would that be?
God. Why would you do something like that?
That's so stupid.
But they never call us and want to know our opinion. Well, that would be stupid if 2 teams from the Big Ten would play each other in the Vegas Bowl. That's
like when you as a travel ball grandpa know, like when you go all the way to Omaha to play a team from Hastings that you could have played at Carter Park, but you're playing them in Omaha. That's the level of stupidity that is. Anyways, final home game tonight, match I should say. Final home match of the season, Hastings College, Mount Marty, 7:30 tonight. JVs will get underway at 6. We'll be there early. There's trunk or treating tonight at the Lynn Farrell Arena. So get there early for the Hastings College trunk or treat for Hastings College volleyball.
You're going to take your little jack-o'-lantern to get your candy?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to go through the line.
I'll plow through that line.
Go through the line.
It's candy. No. 7:30 start, 7:20 for the pre-match show. We'll have it for you here on Extreme Sports.
All right, we've got to get to your survivor pick. Normally we do this at 7:30, but
we're way behind.
Yeah, it's 8:03. I know there's people waiting in the lobby ready for you to disclose your survivor pick for week number 9 of the NFL season.
Yeah, listen, it comes down to the last team that I put eyeballs on. LA's coming off a bye week. They're going into this matchup with New Orleans. Obviously, it was the quarterback switch. We know when quarterback switch happens, sometimes it can inspire offenses, and those offenses can play pretty good football. Take a look, Exhibit A, Jackson Dart Giants, right? So I was leery. I was leery about taking the LA Rams. Both are good picks, but ultimately I'm going to settle on the way the Packers finished that game against the Steelers. They were the last team I put eyeballs on, and they're my first choice for Survivor this week. I think Jordan Love gets it done. Give me Green Bay.
Wow. I thought you would lock in the Rams.
Taking the Packers, baby.
All right, so Tyson is on the Packers for Survivor Week 9. Tyler Morris and Ty Schleicher, your competitors, they've got until 6 o'clock tomorrow to lock in their picks, and we'll see what happens on the Friday morning. We'll peek at their picks on the Friday morning. So Tyson is in. Lock him in. The Green Bay Packers, one of 3 survivors left in our survivor pool. So there you go. We've reached the end. Busy morning here today. If you'd like to listen to Bob Jensen's conversation we had, or conversation we had in the first half hour about the Huskers and perhaps some bowl game destinations, download the podcast on these social media sites, and you can listen to the show again. Bits and pieces of it you may have missed as you were getting ready to head out the door here this morning. We'll do this again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Again, we'll have volleyball tonight, Hastings and Mount Marty, beginning at 7:20. We'll have it for you tonight here on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.